What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs Series. I want to continue to examine 100 years of world championship fights. November 9th, 1936. On a Monday night, 8 p.m. to be exact. World light heavyweight champion John Henry Lewis would defend his crown against Len Harvey in 15 rounds in London, United Kingdom. Approximately 11,800 to 12,000 spectators came to support Len Harvey at the Empire Pool in Wimbledon Stadium. As the fighter/promoter, Len Harvey accepted $75,000 at the gate. Referee Jack Smith was on the verge of stopping the contest many times during the course of this bout, because John Henry Lewis was giving Len Harvey the business. Now, Len Harvey stood 6 foot, weighed 172 pounds, and he had a 73.5-inch reach. Walked into that bout with a career record of 117 wins, 12 losses, 10 draws, and 55 by the knockout rule. But when you look at John Henry Lewis, he stood 5 foot 11 inches, who weighed 174 pounds. He had 75.5-inch reach, and walked into the ring with a career record of 69 wins, 8 losses, 5 draws, and 40 knockouts. Now, Harvey ended his career in 1942 with a total bout career of 146 fights, 122 wins, 14 losses, and 57 knockouts. He stopped in the second round by Freddie Mills. And as for Len Harvey, very good fighter, no match for John Henry Lewis. He ended his career in 1939 with a total bout career of 116 fights, 100 wins, 11 losses, 56 knockouts. He was only stopped once in his career. And that would be his last fight, New York's Madison Square Garden, against the world heavyweight champion, Joe Louis. John Henry Lewis had needed the money. They asked his old pal, Joe Louis, for a shot at his crown. Joe Louis had rather given him the money. The promoter would never make a dime, and that would never happen. 1938, John Henry Lewis would be stripped of his title because he didn't fight Tiger Jack Fox. And the reason why he didn't fight Tiger Jack Fox, which was his mandatory, was because in that state, he didn't pass an eye examination. So he would not fight in that state. He would take on a fighter by the name of Al Gaynor. November 17th, 1936. Middleweight champion from Washington, Freddie Steele knocks out future light heavyweight champion, Los Angeles, California. His name is Gus Lesnevich. Knocked him out in 2 rounds at the Olympic Stadium. Referee was Charlie Randolph, and he ends the contest because he didn't want to see Gus Lesnevich. He was 21 years old, stood 5 foot 9 inches, had 29 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws, and 9 knockouts. Didn't have the experience that Freddie Steele would have. He was 23 years old, stood 5 foot 10 inches, and had a 72-inch reach. Had 111 wins, 2 losses, 11 draws, and 50 knockouts. He had more knockouts than Gus Lesnevich had fights. Now, Gus Lesnevich was from Cliffside Park, New Jersey. He was born February 22nd, 1915. He was named the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year, 1947. He served in the U.S. Coast Guard between 1943 and 1945. He was introduced in the Boxing Hall of Fame in 1988. He died February 28, 1964 in Cliffside Park, New Jersey. I met Gus Lesnevich. And after winning 1934 Inner City Golden Gloves, Gus turned professional that same year. Defeated Bob Olin, Alabama Kid, Jack Marshall, and Alan Matthews, Blackjack Billy Fox, and Nathan Mann, Lou Bullard, and Anton Christoforis. 1940, he would face the NBA Lightweight Championship, losing to Billy Kahn. But he became champion in 1941 when he defeated Anton Christoforis. Gus Lesnevich is to your left. Freddie Steele is to your right. Let's take a look at that contest between Gus Lesnevich and Freddie Steele.
163, Gus Lesnevich. 159, the middleweight champion of the world, Freddie Steele.
Now, Freddie Steele is to your left, and Gus Lesnevich, who would become the World Light Heavyweight Champion, is to your right. Freddie Steele is the champion. It's a non-title fight. Now, Steele comes right out. He has a stripe on his trunks. He has his back to you at this point. You're going to notice a beautiful hook and a beautiful left jab by Freddie Steele as he bounces around and moves around towards his left. Gus Lesnevich is finding difficulties matching the speed and the power per punching Freddie Steele. It's one of the reasons why Gus Lesnevich had always ducked Jimmy Bivens, Lloyd Marshall, and many fighters. Many black fighters, to be exact, because he would have problems with the athleticism. Beautiful hook by Freddie. Oh, beautiful double hook by Freddie Steele. Steele goes right back to him. Good combination. That should have been a count. Nice right hand. Oh, beautiful combination by Freddie Steele. Now, Gus Lesnevich does have no answers. He has to hold on to clear his head. Good jab by Gus Lesnevich. Freddie Steele is one of the hardest punching middleweight champions of all times. Along with, oh, beautiful right hand. Along with Stanley ketchel. And of course, Ray Robinson. Then you had punches like Julian Jackson, Jerry McClellan, Michael, the body snatcher, McClellan. Iron the Blade Parker. Oh, beautiful punching power. Shown by Freddie Steele. And of course, you had Tony Zale and Rocky Graziano. Graziano was known for having the hardest right-hand punch in middleweight. Marvin Hagler could punch himself. Oh, beautiful punch by Freddie Steele. Very nice. Good punch by Gus Lesnevich. Very good punch by Gus Lesnevich. The end of the round. Now Steele comes out. Again, he's to your left and he has stripes on his trunks. This fight won't last a round. As you can see, Steele, he keeps his right hand up the parry-off punches and the catch and shoot. And just dropped Gus Lesnevich with a beautiful straight right hand. Corner doesn't see what they like. And they will throw in the towel to save Gus Lesnevich from further punishment because he has a future. Oh. Beautiful double left hook that was. Between Gus Lesnevich and Tony Zale, they didn't give the Black Murderers Row their fair opportunity, and that's a shame. As you can see here, Gus Lesnevich has problems with athletic fighters. Beautiful movement by Freddie Steele. They throw in the towel. And Freddie Steele remains. He's still a champion. Gus Lesnevich would become light heavyweight champion in the future. November 20th, 1936. Babyface assassin. Jimmy McLaurin defeats Lou Ambers on points. Lightweight championship. It was an on-title fight. Shortly after this victory, Jimmy McLaurin would retire at the age of 29. Now the referee was Johnny McAvoy. Yet the referee was a veteran, Pasty Haney. They sat back and watched this brilliant performance of the babyface assassin, Jimmy McLaurin. It's at the New York Madison Square Garden. They would see the former world welterweight champion for the very last time after putting on a boxing clinic, defeating Lou Ambers. In front of a crowd of 9,000. They would accumulate a gate of $32,082.02. The referee, Johnny McAvoy, was very impressed. He just let the action play itself out. The 22-year-old Lou Ambers stood 5 foot 4.5 inches, weighed 136 pounds, and he had a 70-inch reach. Walked into the ring with a career record of 60 wins, 3 losses and 5 draws with 21 knockouts. Ambers was in the ring with fighters such as Buster Brown, Jack Sharkey, Eddie Cool, and Tony Canzoneri. As for Jimmy McLaurin, he was 28 years old, stood 5 foot 6 inches, weighed 144 pounds, had a 67-inch reach. He had a fighting career record of 56 wins, 11 losses, 3 draws, and 21 knockouts. Now he was in the ring with Barney Ross, 3 separate occasions, 2 losses and 1 win. Tony Canzoneri, twice, 1 win, 1 loss. And he would defeat young Corbett III by knocking him out in the first round and becoming a welterweight champion of the world. McLaurin would be a 2-time welterweight champion. He would defeat Barney Ross. Very good fighter was Jimmy McLaurin. On the night of November 20th, 1936, New York Madison Square Garden spectators would get a treat of their life, witnessing babyface assassin for the very last time take advantage of Lou Ambers, who would become a 2-time lightweight champion. We defeat Canzoneri, lose to Armstrong, and regain it from Armstrong, and then lose to Lou Jenkins. Two very good fighters. Mix it up. November 20th, 1936. November 26, 1936. Former middleweight champion, Billy Papke, age 52, kills his estranged wife, and he shoots her. Takes his own life. Newport. Billy Papke, the Illinois Thunderbolt, born September 17, 1886. Springville, Illinois. It was originally called Spring Valley. Stood 5'9". He was a middleweight champion. Fought from 1906 to 1919. Had a total bout career of 54 fights. 37 wins, 11 losses. He had 31 knockouts and was stopped just once. Faced fighters such as Leo Florian Hook, Frank Mantell, Bob Mohar, Jack Twin Sullivan, Dave Smith and Sailor Berkey, Hugo Curry, Fireman Jim Flynn. June 4th, 1908, he lost to Stanley Ketchel. September 7th, 1908, he would defeat Stanley Ketchel. And this is for the middleweight championship crown. October 23rd, 1912, defeated middleweight champion. And he claimed stopping George Compartier 14 rounds. California. Lost the middleweight title. Frank Klaus. 15 rounds on a disqualification. Was scheduled for 20. March 5th, 1913. Last big fight was Soldier Barfield. April 8th, 1919. Then he would lose to Jimmy Dorsey. May 14th, 1919. Now he defeated Jim Sullivan in London, 9 rounds, knocking him out with a British middleweight championship belt. June 8, 1911. February 22nd, 1912. He would face Frank Mantell and claim the middleweight championship belt. Let's take a look at Billy Papke, Stanley Ketchel. Here you have Billy Ketchel to your left and Stanley Ketchel to your right. These men would face each other several times, exchanging the title back and forth. Here you have Billy Ketchel as he looks in his prime. Illinois Thunderbolt. Something with the middleweight division, I'll tell you. Billy Papke kills his wife. Turns the anger on himself. Stanley Ketchel is shot by Walter Dipley. Carlos Monzon throws his wife, allegedly, off the terrace. Phenomenal. Stanley Ketchel. Just want to show you one of the pictures of Izzy Genazzo. He took on Barney Ross. Izzy Genazzo was some fighter. We're going to go through that fight with you, but I just wanted to show you Izzy Genazzo. I haven't pasted in the book here. Okay. November 27th, 1936. Barney Ross defeats Izzy Genazzo, 15 rounds in New York. Retains the welterweight championship belt. The 368 spectators. They witnessed the bout collectively, putting together a gate of $22,859.23. So 7,368 spectators. That's amazing. To put together a gang of money like that during the course of that time. The referee was Johnny McAvoy. One of the judges were Charlie Lynch and Marty Monroe. They decided Barney Ross would be the winner. Now, Genazzo had lost a point. He lost a point in 15 rounds for a low blow. And he was dropped twice, 2 separate occasions. 26-year-old Ross stood 5'7". He was a lightweight and a welterweight. He had a 67-inch reach. Had a record of 66 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, and 18 knockouts. 21-year-old Izzy Genazzo stood 5'8.5". He was a welterweight with a 71.5-inch reach, and he had a fighting ring career with 28 wins, 14 losses, 11 draws, and 3 knockouts. I don't know where my mind is today. Excuse me. Izzy Genazzo. His name was Anthony Genazzo. He was born January 31st, 1915 in Alabama. He died June 18th, 1995 in New York. I remember meeting him as well. Fought from 1932 to 1947. Had a total bout career of 126 fights. 65 wins, 46 losses, 8 knockouts. He was stopped 6 times. But he was in a ring with fighters such as Tony Riccio, Joe Blackwood, very hard puncher he was, Ray Robinson, B.B. Wright, Phil Furr, Kid Azteca, Jimmy Leto, and Freddie Dixon, Barney Ross, Holman Williams. He would win 1, lose 1, and have 1 draw with Holman Williams. Severino Garcia, Ernest the Cat Robinson, Coco Kid and Fritzy Zivit, Reuben Shank, Cecil Hudson, Johnny Green, Ralph Zanelli, Ozzie Bulldog Harris. Good fighter was Izzy Genazzo, but he couldn't handle the punching power and the wittiness of Barney Ross. On the night of November 27th, 1936, Barney Ross was a fine fighter, I'll tell you. Very good fighter he was. Chicago's Barney Ross, originally from New York, was moved to Chicago at the age of 2, getting boxing at the age of 14. Chicago Golden Gloves, phenomenal fighter.